Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, this is Nurhan Suwirki from the ETV, the English Teacher Voice. If you're following me on my social media platforms, you will know that I'm summarizing ELT books, and actually I've started with the TKT book, okay? And we've just covered, till now, we've covered the first two units, Unit 1 about Lexis and Unit 2 about grammar. Of course, you can access them through YouTube, okay, and SoundCloud with the same name, the English Teacher Voice. Also, don't forget to join my Telegram channel because, we have lovely discussions where you can just send me questions and I will answer them. So right now, let's get started. And now this is Unit 3, Phonology. So phonology is divided in two parts. So today is going to be Part 1, Phonology Part 1. So now let me tell you about the points that will be covered today. So in this episode for Phonology Part 1, we will talk about the definition of phonology and then some key concepts like phoneme, phonemic symbols, phonemic script, phonemic transcription, and finally phonemic chart. So first of all, let's start with phonology. What is phonology? So phonology is the study of the sound features used in a language to communicate meaning. So first of all, you have to bear in mind that in phonology, we are interested in the study of sounds and sound features that we use to deliver the meaning. So when we talk about phonology, of course, we need to talk first of all about a phoneme. What is a phoneme? A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound that can make a difference to meaning in a language. So the phoneme is the smallest unit of sound ever. And again, here pay attention that here we care about the sound, which is a phoneme, not the letters. Okay? And now let me just give you an example to understand it better. So if I take the word books, okay, books. Now when I say book, you know this word is singular, right? But now when I add the s and I say books, so now you know that this s represents a meaning, which is this word is plural. Okay, so now the s gives us a meaning, and the s actually makes a difference to meaning in this specific word. And after talking about the phonemes and the meaning of phonemes, then we need to talk about the phonemic symbols. So what is the meaning of that? First of all, when we talk about phoneme, we said phoneme is the sound, the smallest unit of sound. For example, when I say p sound, this is a sound. When I say s, this is a sound. When I say sh, this is a sound. Okay, and then when I use different sounds together, then finally I have a word, right? So now when we talk about phonemic symbols, we have to differentiate between the letters and the phonemic symbols. What does that mean? Now I will give you an example for the word she. Okay, when I say she's beautiful, for example, she. Now the word she starts with the S and H, right? When I write the word, I write SH and then an E. SH. So this is what's written. But when I pronounce the sound is sh, right? The sound is sh. So this sh sound has a specific symbol, which is called phonemic symbol. Okay, so we have a specific symbol for sh sound, we have a specific symbol for j, for ch, for I, for all the sounds, we have phonemic symbol for each of which. Okay, then we also have something else which is called phonemic script. What is the meaning of phonemic script? Now, I have one sound, and the sound or the phoneme has one symbol, the phonemic symbol, like the sound sh. Okay, or the sound b. But now, when I have more than one symbol all together, so now I have something called phonemic script. For example, now you need to know how to pronounce a word like the word, let's say the word beautiful. I don't know how to pronounce it. So then I can access a dictionary, and of course, I have two ways to know the pronunciation. First of all, if this dictionary is electronic, I will just listen to the pronunciation, right? I have the British pronunciation, the American pronunciation, and I will listen to each of which. But also, I can read the phonemic script, which means I can read the symbols of the word beautiful, through which I will just know how to pronounce the word through the symbols, through reading them without, listening to the pronunciation. Okay? And after the phonemic script, also we have something else called phonemic transcription. And the transcription here, we are not talking about the symbols of one word like beautiful. Now we can talk about the transcription of lots of words or sentences, The transcription of these sentences is called the phonemic transcription. And finally, the most important thing to know about here is phonemic chart. Okay? Of course, to know more about phonemic chart, I just want you to be able to access the book. This is found on page 21, TKT book. If you can't access it, just Google it. Just type phonemic chart. So, what do we have on this chart? In the chart, we have vowels, consonants, and diphthongs. So, of course, you know vowels and consonants, but maybe you have no idea about diphthongs. So, first of all, let me just give you the definitions of each of which, and then we are going to read and pronounce all the symbols on the phonemic chart. First of all, we have vowels, and in the chart we have 12 vowels, and those vowels are whether short vowels or long vowels, like short E and long E, short U and long U, and so on. So vowels are sounds that are made with the mouth partly open and where the air is not stopped by the tongue, lips, or teeth. So when I pronounce a vowel, I find that the flow of air is not stopped by any of these parts, tongue, lips, or teeth. But when we talk about the consonants, we find that the flow of air is partly blocked, okay, by the tongue, lips, or teeth. And finally, the diphthongs. The diphthongs are the movement, or the diphthong is actually a movement from one vowel sound to another within a single syllable. And now, let me read all of them. So, E, we, I, fit, look, boot, fed, schwa, alone, hurt, all, old, hat, but, far, pot. So these are the 12 vowels. Then on the top, on the right hand, you will find 8 diphthongs. So as we said, the diphthong is a movement from the first sound to the second sound. So now let's read each of which. Ear, dear, a, say, or, sure, oi, toy, oh, so, fair, I, die, ow, how. And finally, the rest will be the consonants. Now let me read all of them. P, pen, b, bin, t, tin, d, did, ch, chin, j, gentle, k, kid, g, get, f, fin, v, very, th, thin, these, s, sat, z, zone, sh, shirt, j, pleasure, men, not, wing, hen, l, let, r, red, w, we, y, yet. Okay, so these are all the phonemic symbols on the phonemic chart. Okay, so also we've been talking about the definitions of vowels, diphthongs, and consonants, but finally we just need to talk about the sounds or the consonants, whether the consonant is voiced or voiceless or unvoiced. So what is the meaning of that the consonant can be voiced or unvoiced or voiceless? Now let me just give you an example to understand it better. Now I want you to put your fingers on your throat, okay? You can even put your fingers on your nose, but on your throat will be better. Also, you can even, put your fingers on your ears, but throats are way better. So now put your finger on your throat and now start saying s, and now z. So now what is the difference, okay, between s and z? How do you feel? Yes, you're right. You're definitely right. Now when you say s, you feel like there is no vibration in the vocal cords, but now when I say z, now there is vibration in the vocal cords, which means s sound is unvoiced or voiceless, but z sound is voiced. Okay, the same will be in f and v, for example. F is also unvoiced, v is voiced, and so on. Okay, so today we've covered these points. First of all, we've covered the definition of phonology, then phoneme, phonemic symbols, phonemic script, phonemic transcription, phonemic chart. We've also been talking about vowels, consonants, diphthongs, and finally whether the consonant is voiced and unvoiced. Okay, so this is it for today. Thank you so much, and wait for part 2. Bye bye for now.